Good morning to every one of you. How are you doing? This is yours truly, Mr. O. Welcome to another interaction time with me as I drive to work. So, today is Ghana's Independence Day. As they remember it, it happened on the 6th of March 1957. And most of us were not really born. Yeah, because I wasn't born in 1957. But those who lived the process, those who lived the experience, always share with us. But in 2025, I am happy about one thing that the new government decided not to line up children in the streets and on the national TV to salute the president. In fact, it is not the eradication of it, but it was done in moderation. Japheth, good morning to you. It's been done in moderation, and I truly, truly like it and I respect it. All right? It is a step in the right direction because I have been one advocate of the fact that we need to stop marching in the sun. When it is Independence Day, we need to stop marching school children and all kind of people. I don't know what we are displaying. I don't know what we are trying to portray, right, Prince? I don't know what we are trying to portray to the world that the colonial masters used to make us do that. And after they have left, our minds are still colonized in the way that we still want to practice the same thing. It was one of the things that I vowed to all the teachers of my daughter, for instance, that my daughter must never partake in that march pass. Don't, don't even think of it. Don't send her there because I have never believed in it. I have never believed in the marching pass since I was in high school. I have never believed in it. I never took part. We go there, it's a holiday for us by virtue of the fact that you have to go and represent your school and go and watch. So we do it. But trust me, in reality, some of us never liked it. And I've talked about it on this page before that we need to stop. I mean, at least it's been moderated, it's been scaled down. So for this year, it is happening mainly within the seat of government, which is a good sign. Which is a good sign. I'm waiting and praying for the day that it will be eradicated totally. On Independence Day, let us sit at home, let the president reflect. If you want to do any commemoration, go to the military base, call the military, call the police, call the security services. Then they do their display, they do whatever, so that people will just sit home and watch. All right? July 4th is a big deal in America, but you don't see all these things happening. Other parts of the world, they celebrate their Independence Day in a very different way. And I believe we can do that. It is a day to reflect, to review, and to reset. That is what the president said, right? So we need to look back where we have been, where we are coming from, where we have gone through all that, and where we are now, and where we want to go forward. That is the most important thing. Yes, Javed, that has been my mind for a long time. I want them, my daughter, my children must never match in that thing. And thank God none of them attempted it. I would have sued them. Oh yeah, I was one person that I never liked it, how they torment school children. In fact, the whole process of getting ready for that day is a whole emotional burden for students. Ray, good morning. I am telling you, it's a whole emotional burden for students. They'll be marching in this sun, they'll be beating them. Hey, straighten your hand, do this. It has no look, it brought nothing to us. They will tell you the students enjoy it. Those students they don't enjoy it, but they must comply. They were complying, they were not enjoying anything. At the end of the day, what do they give them? They don't even give them any food. Some of them collapse. Even our security services, most of them collapse on those days. So why do we keep encouraging it? So it's a step in the right direction. But trust me, I am waiting for the day it will be totally eradicated in every part of the country. No MP, no municipal assembly, nobody should engage in that activity. Let us sit home, reflect, sit down, tell the story to our generations. This is how our forefathers fought for the independence. This is how and where we have been. This is where we are. You understand? That way we can appreciate the whole history about independence better. Because if you tell somebody today is Ghana's independence, they'll ask you, are we truly independent? Are we truly independent? And at the end of the day, what do we have to show for it? At 68, a man at 68, what do you have to show for it? You are nearing your, in fact, you have retired. And you are just sitting at home enjoying your life. What do we have to show for 68 years of independence as a country? I know people will start coming with all the receipts. Please, you can list it in the comment section. Just tell me 3 things, 4 things that we have gained as a country for being independent for 68 years. All right? Let us share. Let us learn. We are learning. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm not saying it. Let us learn. Somebody will say, oh, we have peace. Yes, we have peace. We have been able to maintain that. The peace didn't come about because of independence. There are some countries who had all the peace and all the development without actually claiming their independence. You know what I mean? So let us grow beyond that. Let us grow beyond that. It's very important we try to look at things from a different perspective. Ask yourself, what have we achieved as a country? What are we going to achieve? What is our developmental plan? What is our 4 years plan, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? What is our 100 years developmental plan as a country? We don't have it. Everybody comes, is like, oh, let me also come and try. We play with the people, we play with the country, we play with the destiny of the country, then we walk away. And it's been like that. What is our developmental? What is our agenda? What are we aiming to achieve? How do we want to see ourselves at 100 years? At 100 years, because we are nearing 100. Very soon we get to 100 years. At 100, what do we need to see? What do we want to see? And how do we want that achievement to be? In education, in health, what have we achieved? You understand? When you talk about the education system, what is happening now? How are we developing our curriculum to fit the agenda for which we want the country, or how we want the country to go? In terms of business, in terms of doing business, in terms of finance, banking, what are we doing in order to create that development that we should see in the next 100 years? Yes, you see, the importation, yes, America imports stuff, but the importation must be for developmental purposes. In the sense that if you are importing car parts in order to do assembly in Ghana, fine. If we are importing certain things in order to develop our country and to create the industries and to support the industries, that is fine. So if you have an industry that will need a product from America, that will need a product from South Africa, we can import it from that South Africa and use it in our industrial development. What is our industrialization plan as a country? Do we even have it? How do we want to industrialize Ghana? Those are the questions we should ask ourselves. Those are the things we should be reflecting on Independence Day at 68. Because we couldn't do it when we were 40. We couldn't do it when we were 30. We couldn't do it when we were 10. We couldn't do it when we were 25, where we could. I mean, when we were 18 years, we were considered mature, right? We couldn't even do those plans. Yes, some presidents had those agendas. They couldn't fulfill it. They were kicked out. Nkrumah had a foresight that was even beyond some of the European countries, the so-called developed economies. Yes, that guy was thinking miles and miles ahead of his peers. And we all know how the story ended. He was taken out. Who took him out? That is another question for another day. You can do your research. You know where the answers will fall. The verdict is out there, so you can check it for yourselves. And beyond Nkrumah, we've had so many presidents. Some came with Agenda 2020. When we were kids, we heard of Vision 2020. Vision 2020 seemed like a very far away thing. So the whole plan was by the year 2020, this is where we want to be as a country. But the Vision 2020 came within like a blink of an eye. Yes, 2020 came and we're still somewhere. We're still not even near 1/3, 1/4 of where we want to be as a country. Can you imagine? It was very sad, very, very sad. And now they say, oh, Vision 4040, oh, Vision 50. And some people say we don't even need a long-term plan as a country. We need short-term plan because we are only thinking about our immediate gratification. I mean, how we could be satisfied immediately. We don't think about the future. So in our construction, road construction, we are thinking small. You see, I've shown you American roads. You see how big they are, right? And they have land at the sides and in the middle. Do you know why they leave that? For expansion. There are roads in America now. The medians have now been turned into lanes because they were left there and expansion came. It became 3 lanes. Now there is demand on that road. So now they have to move the road further. So all you see is just a block work in the middle, demarcating the other lanes. So within 5 years, a 3-lane road will now become what? A 5-lane road, because provisions were made for that development. You understand? Provisions were made in that construction. They projected the growth into it. They projected the growth into that construction. But we are constructing things, we are doing things, and we are not projecting any growth into it. Can you imagine? We are building hospitals, we are building schools, we are doing policies. There is no growth built into that policy. That if the student size, let's assume fertility increases, so therefore we are going to have a lot of school-going age kids in the next 5 years. What or how are we going to incorporate that into building school buildings? How are we going to incorporate that into school feeding program? How are we going to incorporate that into the general and the bigger picture agenda of the nation? We are not incorporating it. So the nation is becoming fertile. We are not projecting any increment in cost of how they call it, accommodating that growth, that fertility. Because once the people become fertile, population grows. When population grows, it puts demand on the amenities of the country, right? The road is impacted, the ports are impacted, the hospitals are impacted. What is the agenda? That in the next 5 years, we want to make sure that we train at least 1 million doctors. And we want to train them in basic disease eradication. So do we need the doctors to go to 7 years of school? No, they don't. Because Cuba does not do that 7 years. That is why they can ship out and sell to you their human resource. Do we want to export human resource in the next 1 year? If we want to be the main hub of human resource in the next 10 years, then we should have a plan in place. You understand? It looks, I mean, these things that I'm talking about, it doesn't just happen overnight. It doesn't just happen overnight. People take their time and they build these things into their developmental agendas. That in the next 15 years, in the next 20, that's why every day they are doing some calculations, they are doing some. You see all the forest and all these side roads, they don't just build on them because there is a plan. You understand? There's a plan. In our social security, we know that in the next 5 years, we will have a grown or a population that is very old, that is on retirement. Maybe 30% of the population will be on retirement. So what is the plan for social security? What is the plan for old age? How are we going to handle the aged? How do we want the aged to be handled in terms of health, in terms of education, in terms of whatever? All these things must come in play. But I know, as usual, we are people, we believe in, oh, it is here now, let us chop and go. So we spend the money, we spend the time, and it ends there. Can you believe it? That's it. You look, take your time and look at every area of the economy, every sector of the economy. Every sector is affected in one way or the other. Can you believe that? Yeah. Every sector is impacted in a way because there's no ground plan. So you give that contract to that constructor. He goes in there, build the thing the way he feels, or the way that morning when he woke up, how his mind was doing. Oh, okay, let's do it this way. Or let's just build a 4-bed hospital. Let's build a 100-bed hospital. Ask yourself, what is the population growth in that vicinity? How many towns and cities are going to fit into that hospital? What is the population growth within that 5 or 6 towns that are going to fit into that main hospital that I'm building today? So at the end of the day, you incorporate all that into that one hospital you are building, so that directly or indirectly, you cater for the growth that is coming in the next 5, 6, 7 years. You don't get there and now we have, so you may have 100 beds today. It may seem like it has solved all your health problems. But in the next 6 years, you realize that, oh, the hospital needs expansion because now we have town A, town B, town C, town D. They are all feeding in the same hospital. Oh, we don't have spaces for doctors because now the numbers have increased and we need more doctors, and the doctors, they don't have offices. There is no operation room. What is the plan? At 68, those are the things we should be talking about. Those are the conversations we should be having on Independent Day. Those are the conversations. Bring the elders. Let them come tell us where we were as a country, where we have been, what we are still doing, and how they see it. Because when Nkrumah built that Akosombo Dam that is generating power for us in Ghana, I think the population was very small. But the guy projected in the future so much that he catered for so many years ahead, even though it wasn't everything. But he had a plan to cater for a growth in population. When he built the motorway, he had a plan. When he was building those silos to store food, he had a plan that, look, the population will grow, our food demand will grow. So this is what we should do. You see what is happening in Burkina Faso? The guy is building the whole thing with the future in mind. He said, we are not going to sell our grains. We are not going to sell our cereals. So for the next 5 years, sorghum, beans, rice, maize, we are going to store it in silos, dried. And when the demand comes, we can feed, we can depend on ourselves, and then we can sell to the world. Now he's not selling to the world. He said tomatoes, keep every tomatoes in the country. In fact, if you are a tomatoes farmer, bring it, the government will buy it. Because we want to do what? We want to have added value to it in our country, create jobs. That is all. That is all. That is all. But we are so much into celebration, dancing, and we love celebration. Africans in general, but Ghana in particular, oh yes, everything we must dance. Everything we must dance and sing. Everything. Every day we are dancing and singing. Yes, it's a way to distress. It's a way not to stress ourselves. It's very good. But trust me, when it comes to nation development, the dancing and the singing must come to an end at a point. We were dancing before the colonial masters came. We danced for them when they were there. When they left, we were still dancing. Why? That is what is happening with this national celebration. When they came, they saw us. It's okay, these people, let us model them this way. They left us. So you see, before they even left you, they projected the future into their giving you the independence they gave us. They had a future in mind before they give us the independence, though. Because they know, look, these people, let them feel that they are independent. Let them feel like they are they are standalone. Let them feel that they are their own bosses. Then let us control them from this aspect, or let us control them from this part of the whole agenda. And that is where Africa is today. 68. Are we truly independent? That question I will never stop asking. Every country depends on each other, but there are some countries that can dictate to you. If you are truly independent, you dictate. Okay, it is my gold. I'm going to sell it for you $10,000. If you can't buy it, go and buy it elsewhere. What are you going to do with the gold? Yes, I will add value to it. I'll process it, put it into chains, put it into where now Ghana becomes a hub of quality, pure gold accessories, right? Yes. Then now, even though they don't want to buy it in the raw state for $10,000, now they will come and buy the what? The end product in a very better price, rather. I mean, added value. So the gold that he was supposed to buy, the raw gold for 10,000, now you have turned the 10,000 to about 100,000 in value of accessories. Even if they will not buy it, store it. Let it be a back end for your economy. Let it. Do you know the amount of gold America has? Have you ever heard of the Knox Fox? Knox Fort. It's a fort. It's like a vault that they built. Long time. Recently, I was reading the news. They said the gold in there is is being stolen or whatever. I don't know. Fort Knox. Fort Knox, yes. It is one of the 45 places in America. You don't just go there. That is the backbone of America. And other things. So American can have even a vote. In our country, do you know what is being stored in some of these embassies? Come on, you guys. Let's grow. So they bring their embassies there. And they are smiling with you, giving you small tips. But do you know what they are storing? That is why somebody can get up and call the bluff of your country, because you as a country does not have what it takes to call the bluff of others. Military-wise, you are not strong. Financially, you are not strong. Health-wise, you are not strong. We cannot even manufacture our basic things. There are companies in Ghana that I know are doing what? Syringes. They are manufacturing, how do we call it? Oh, let me mention your name. Pharmaceutical products. All right? They are manufacturing pharmaceutical products that are very vital to our health department. But when COVID came, what did you do? We had to go and take money from other countries. You have to go and take medications from other countries. Do you know what those medications do to our bodies as Africans? Because our genes are different. We are different. It wasn't formulated for you. So no matter how you look at it, it will have effect on you one way or the other. What is our pharmaceutical agenda for the next 50 years, for the next 40 years? How do we want our pharmaceutical companies to be independent? How do we want them to compete in the world? How do we want our health system to compete with the others? Other countries are doing health tourism. Others are doing other ways, so many ways, educational tourism. What are we selling to the world? What do we have? What products do we have to sell to the world? Those are the things we should be talking about. Those are the conversations we should be having. They are hard conversations. But at 68, because we didn't have those conversations when we were 40, we didn't have those conversations when we were 30, we didn't have those conversations when we were 20. Now at 68, we have to start having those conversations. Because at one point, we must have those conversations. In the next 4 or 5 years, in the next how many years? We'll be 100. Less than 30 years, we'll be 100. People look at it, but I say, look, the years you take 4 years out of add 4 years to this. We have 70 what? We have 72. Don't we have less than that to get to 100? It is what it is. It's my take. It is 68. It is Independence Day. As usual, we'll do what we need to do. We'll sing, we'll eat, then we dance, then we go to bed. Then our problems will keep staring us in the face until we make a move, until we take a plan, until we decide that, listen, this is how we are going to make this thing work. There is no way it's going to work for us. All right? Until we decide as people, this is how it's going to be. It will never work for us as a country. What do you want to do in the next 6 years? Where do you want to be in the next 5 years? How is that going to affect the general plan of your life? Ask yourself hard questions and provide the hard answers and we will be on a path to great development. All right, Kenny, thank you so much. Our conversations of school keys paraded in the sun for no reasons has been reviewed. Kudos to the press and to you and to, oh yes, I added my voice to it, and I believe they didn't listen to me though, but I think the president was just being real. Yes, he was just being real because number one, apart from, he's looking at it like he's saving money, he's saving cost. But trust me, I look at it more than cost. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense to parade school children, to parade ourselves in the sun and be. Who are we marching for? Who are we dancing for? And celebrate. Every day we are celebrating. Every day we are dancing and eating. Whilst the world is moving ahead. And basic MRI scan machines we cannot even procure. Go to our hospitals. Basic X-ray machines. Basic scan machines that women who are pregnant can use to scan themselves is broken down. What are we doing as people? Yeah. But you see, the weather will not allow me to do Batakari. If I do Batakari now, I'll be freezing. You see, happy Independence Day. Steve, thank you so much. Onupa, yeah, since we are manning our own business. Yeah. We are. Independence for 68 and we bought things. Well, Jaffa says none of our leaders had their awards matching. That is the truth. That is the truth. None of those people, the MPs sitting there, their children are not matching. They are not in the sun. They will tell you they have health conditions, so they cannot match. So why should my children be in the sun and be matching? No. Senepa. That is me. Don't match my children in the sun or I'll sue you. And I'll make sure, because most is the teachers who select these students, right? Oh, you can match. You can go and match. And they'll force these kids, whether the kids like it or not, they'll force them. I've been to school. I know how it is like. Wisdom says, good morning. No wastage, but moderation. Yes, I don't want to even see the moderation. Let us eradicate it. It's not helping us. Prince says, as for me, I was disappointed about one thing. The Ghana Air Force didn't fly past our homes in their helicopters with the Ghana flag. Well, that is what they should be doing. That is what they should be doing. That is independence. So we sit at home, then we watch some of these things. Then, it's nice. We see our military capacities. We see what they are made of. Let them be the ones doing the drills and all those things, so that it will even encourage people to join the military. Let them make the military appealing. Let them make the police, the security forces, the fire service, the immigration, the correctional officers, the prison officers, make these institutions attractive to the young ones. Because there are lawyers who are coming out, who don't have any job to do. How can they be? You can be a lawyer at the same time working for the prison service. You can be a lawyer at the same time working for the education service. You can be a lawyer. But you see, all our lawyers go to school, they train, and they become general lawyers. They are not specific to any sector. We don't have health. If you have an issue with the hospital right now, you have to comb the whole country to get a lawyer that specializes in health issues. You understand? You have to get, and all of them, when you give them the case, you know what they do? They'll tell you, you wait, let me read about this small. Because they are not specialized in that area. They are not specialized in that area. So we have doctors who are not specialized in that area. So if you give them a case, oh, let me go and read small. Let me go and study the thing. They don't know. But if you come here, there are lawyers who tell you, look, I'm an immigration lawyer. I don't take maybe criminal cases. I'm a criminal lawyer. I don't know anything about immigration. Yes. Some will tell you in the face. They say, no, I only specialize in traffic offenses, DUIs. So if you have traffic, if you have a ticket, you have this, that is my specialization. If you give him any health related, he said, no, I'm sorry, call this law firm or call another law firm. That is them. But we don't have any specialization. So we have people coming out, and students are having issues with the school system. They don't have anybody to defend them in court. Teachers are having issues. They don't have anybody to defend them, because we have generalized our education system to the extent that even the lawyers who are coming out are generalized lawyers, general practitioners. For instance, on X, one person commented about how the armed forces drill made him feel like going to the army. Yes, that is me. Look, at that point, right, I wanted to be in the army so bad. It was so bad. I wanted to join the army because it was attractive. It was very much attractive. They made it so attractive for all of us. But here we are. The thing is not attractive anymore. They have made it so tribalistic. If you're not from this tribe, you cannot join. If you're not from this one, you cannot. I mean, it's all about that. How should that be? So, guys, that is my take. I'll leave it here. Let's continue the conversation in the comment section. Share your views, share your mind, and let us all learn from what you know. All right? And let us see the direction we can take the conversation. I'll see you when I see you. Have a blessed day. Have a wonderful day. Let's talk again another time. Bye-bye.